这个那个飞机不是飞得要比较快吗？就像个那个大的飞机，不是 Airbus 是不是多一点？
那么轻的没声音。
带它像那个commercial。 Good chat. Genau, da muss
October 1939, spring of 1940 was squadron converted to Spitfire as they Channel. There goes the Blenheim 1S. And off the graphs, the Hurricane 1. Aerobatic act will be by the US Army. Horsepower, and he really does use all of it in this display. Here he is, coming round in an inverted flat turn, and then a series of what he calls shoulder rolls, pulling out onto the display centre point, heading directly in. Rolls very, very uncomfortable to reach. Conflict. surrendered to India on that country's independence in 1947. It was only in service for a couple of years. It was put back into those markings, those original markings, inside the last season display for another low-level strafing run. Territories.
Now time to introduce our co-pilot for today. So joining Karen in the cockpit is Flight Lieutenant Jacob Cameron Johnson. This can be a rooftop or the deck of the ship, but today it's in front of you lovely devils. Josh is in the starboard door now, prepping the ropes, ready to supervise the dispatch of troops. Dave is also on the ramp preparing the ropes. You see now the ropes have been deployed and we can simultaneously dispatch from 4 ropes if required. 1 from the door, 1 from the centre hatch and 2 from the ramp. Whether they are flash ropes or abseil ropes depending on the task. 30 troops can be deployed whilst in the hover in less than 2 minutes. It's not just troops, it's heavy kit and even furry land sharks as we know them, or military dogs to the common. We have Corporal Jordan who served with the British Army for 9 years, Lance Corporal Roebuck who served in April since 2010. Trooper Paul Strider who served in the Army Air Corps for 5 years. And finally, Air 1 Daniel Gray, who served in 606 Reserve Squadron. Flies rapidly onto the battlefield. Dave will now be in the centre hatch, voice marshalling the load onto the ground before they then go for that operational release. The aircraft now conducts a nodder over the shoulder, presenting the belly of the aircraft once again to the enemy. 6 degrees nose up, the aft rotor blades will strike the ground. We will not be demonstrating that today. The teamwork amongst the crew allows for effective information to be passed to Cal and CJ as they handle this magnificent machine. As the aircraft pulls to a stop, it's now time for the Chinook's party piece, as one of the only helicopters in the world that can reverse on 2 wheels. As the aircraft lifts once more, Dave is going to have the best seat in the house. He's on the ramp looking out at all you lovely people here today. In case you can't spot him, he's the one with the big orange hands waving at you, or waving Dave as we like to call him. Dave didn't apply sun cream today, so as a result his hands are a little red. He's quite embarrassed about this, so make him happy by giving him a big wave as he goes past.
So they're going to start off with a quarter cloverleaf manoeuvre. Pulling up in front of us. Continuing the loop round, pulling up again. And they're twisting the direction. Back round onto the main A-axis, parallel with the runway, staying in very close formation, and they're about to do much the same thing. Both the pilots are former very dynamic rolling crossing brake. Both into the vertical, stall turning again, giving us a good plan view of the aircraft, and a roll on the down line as they head in towards each other for an opposition pass. Crossing over, again rolling in the vertical, showing us this aircraft's excellent performance. Pushing over at the top. Further rolls. Of the team operating Sally B, including Ted's partner Ellie Sallingbone, understandably devastated. P47 Thunderbolt. Many occasions down the years, including when this airplane was first operated for Duxford, onwards by a point selection, painted as the Duxford base. P47 of the 78 fighter group named No Guts, No Glory. Then sold to the US in the mid-2000s to the West. Okay, station mainly in East Anglia. 9th Air Force, located at bases further west in England. Main role being to provide support for ground troops. Any further targets among the dust and debris of the initial strike. On this pass, if the mission commander is satisfied the enemy air defence is destroyed, the gunships can climb and identify all enemy threats from above. This is done through the use of advanced thermal targeting cameras, and in the cockpit, crews would conduct a set of pre-engagement. With the attack helicopters providing security of the objective, the Wildcat can insert a team of Rangers from the Army Special Operations Brigade. The Wildcat provides close support to the team with its 12.7mm heavy machine gun, mounted on the far side of the aircraft to you now. Good spot, target rounds. All targets destroyed, continue mission. It's over the ground. 300 nautical miles, which can be enhanced with external fuel tanks. This gives us up to 4.5 hours flying time. Despite being large and heavy, the Apache is highly manoeuvrable, as you can see with this 270-degree wing over. Its combat weight can be over 10 tons, able to carry a combination of up to 16 Hellfire or Javelin missiles, 76 Hydra rockets, explosive armor-piercing ammunition. The Wildcat you see repositioning in front of you is a small, agile helicopter with a top speed of 178 miles per hour and a range of 250 knots. From number 29 Squadron with the Eurofighter Typhoon FGR-4. for the Portuguese Air Force. It's the first helicopter type it's operated to have a so-called glass cockpit with digital as opposed to analog displays. The crew members are equipped with night vision goggles for nocturnal missions, and there's a whole range of modern sensors on board. Crucially, it almost doubled the capacity compared with the Puma, from 18 people that it could carry to 35, and the radius of action of the Puma was 200 nautical miles. The Merlin can manage around 400 if an extra fuel tank is installed in the cargo bay.
Now, a 9G horizontal turn, and through test of pilot stamina and airframe strength.
Intense G-forces of vertical maneuvers without compromising safety or performance. But now, the Spartan will pull off an aileron roll, all the elegance of a British Spitfire, just with more payload and far fewer apologies. Is designed to complement specialized assets like the Canadair, enhancing flexibility in wildfire response operations. Clover Cuban.
Turning and reversing. These are not just airshow manoeuvres, these demonstrate the capabilities of the aircraft in the tactical environment. And we can't stress that enough, Mark, can we? These are very much frontline aeroplanes, so many of these types in the programme performing on a daily basis frontline roles. Yeah, absolutely. They're not just displays, they are role demonstrations. In particular, one that we'll see a little later is the Chinook, which demonstrates all of its capabilities whilst close to the ground and in support of our troops. Is something that is very special to the F18. With its large twin fins and large rudder, a barrel roll like that is used, or is conducted using not only elevator but also aileron and rudder at the same time. And of course the very latest fly-by-wire control software. Now to the slow speed pass.
Showing 120 knots roughly. Not quite as slow as some of the other aircraft we've got, but due to the size of the aircraft, if you are able to look at the tailplane and see how quickly it's moving, it gives you some idea of how the fly-by-wire system is keeping after the pilot throughout the maneuver. For the short notice there, we were told it was going to be on the hour. The aircraft coming from number 207 Squadron at RAF Mara, and that's the operational conversion. Centre stem is Red 3, Float Stem Andrew McEwen, known as Macca. Macca is in its first year at the team. All the pilots must have at least 1,000 to 1,500 faster hours. Be assessed as a good news. Red 9 offshore right hand side is right. On the right, 7 and 8 for one of our new manoeuvres for 2025. 6 and 9 roll inverted in the chainsaw. Red.
True export and production success story. And in 2024, it was in service with an amazing 35 countries, and 5,000 airframes have been produced since 1979, amassing over 15 million flying hours.
system.
But watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings them down the line. In the corkscrew, and once again you can see a trailing of famous red, white and blue. Not only here at RIAT on the 5 to 6 seconds. These aircraft now pulling up to 60, which means everything about them is weighing 6 times heavier than you and I as we stand on the airfield. They're pulling hard against that G-pants. They cross. Not only that, we change from red to blue, blue to red. They keep that 6G turn on, red 7 in our left, maintaining that separation on red 6 to complete the manoeuvre called the Circus.
Simultaneously, in from the right then, the new wedge-tail AW1. And here, a really nice view of the upper surfaces. A small satellite dish in that teardrop shape that takes the information that comes into the airplane and puts it through a satellite architecture to a ground station where they can disseminate the information to the appropriate commanders. Another unique thing that you're never going to see at another air show is a gear up pass.
Doing so in the, quote, spacesuit, and after a sortie that could last for 10 hours or more. That's absolutely right. So that pilot, after a long sortie, is definitely feeling the fatigue
of sitting in one spot for that long. And the aid of your wingman in the car being able to assist you, it really helps and can get you through some real sticky situations with bad weather and things that can really jeopardize any flying operation. So touching down now after an incredibly rare demonstration, the Lockheed U-2S of the 99th Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron, US Air Force.
And I think we'd all agree, long may these aircraft stay here, Popeye.
Long may the Dragon Lady reign. An aircraft that...
Josh up front will be giving voice marshalling directions to Captain Cal, eventually talking him forwards and down onto the landing site and monitoring the height of the aircraft as she comes into land. Our crewman on the ramp today is flight. With the troops and quad bike now gone, the aircraft departs with an over-the-shoulder transition. This is a defensive manoeuvre presenting the armoured floor ballistic protection towards a probable enemy in the 12th pod, which gives the aircraft and any occupants the best possible chance of protection from any threats on the ground. Today, but Dave and Josh will be ready to employ the crew-served weapon systems. Extend their weapon arcs. The Chinook can be fitted with an M60 machine gun on the ramp and two M134 miniguns on the port and starboard sides. Each of these is capable of firing 3,000 rounds a minute. That's 50 rounds.
From our right in a shallow dive around 330 knots. Max rate turn. No wobbles, no waves, just a hard, snappy turn, locking and flying by wire control. Let's see the word upside down.
Don't take it out. Can you just hold it across so then it will open it? Oh my word!
A max takeoff, which is accelerating to beyond the rotate speed, and then accelerating a further 30 knots before lifting the nose wheel off to a max performance climb. Unprepared strips at high weights. In the static park, now accelerating in for a pass designed to simulate a visual check of a simulated drop zone at a speed up to 285 knots. Refueler to the top end of its speed regime and the receiver to the bottom end of its speed regime. Now, how about this for a landing approach? Setting the aircraft up in a steep descent, and we'll see a full stop landing aided by the powerful automatic brakes.
Camera ready for the crossing. 3, 2, 1.
So get ready to welcome Frecce Tricolori 2025. The first maneuver of our program, green, white and red. This is the only maneuver where all 9 MB-39ers are within the same formation. The next will be the first and only separation where the formation is going to split into 3 sections. White smoke, inverted flight, roll at the display center and reverse again. Describe the technical features of our MB. On the right with his slow roll. A nice skill maneuver is exalting pilot capability of coordinated flight controls. Close and rudder pedals and maintenance and uniform. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the spectacular British flight. To 500 miles an hour.
Just a transport aircraft, it's a machine capable of pulling off maneuvers you'd never expect from its class. Barrel rolls, tight turns, high G climbs, even a full loop. Well, the Spartan does it all. Further, think of it as the smaller sibling of the C-130 Hercules, but leaner, more versatile, more cost efficient, and thanks to broad interoperability, it slots right in alongside a whole range of other aircraft. Senza alternò.
for them to take on a tactical departure with a turn away from you, possible one, this aircraft to get airborne under 1,000 meters. The occupants talking, the U2 down and calling out to start.
from the last, this is the Eagle of Frecce Tricolori.
From that half Cuban inverter, and they're going into an inverter. This orbit, starting its takeoff roll underneath the Tacolari up to the 1A.
From Reparto Sperimentale di Volo, who is one of the witnesses, one of the main characters of the disaster.
One of the 9 aircraft in 1952, by which time the name Frecce Tricolori.
579. But please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force Air Apache. It's the road! Red One goes ever so slightly. He continues to pull, which means he's gone for the full arrival. Riding at over 400 miles per hour, you now see the aircraft collapse and fall on world famous Diamond 9. Reaching a height of over 5.5 to 6,000 feet, the aircraft slowed down to only 120 miles an hour. Red One now brings the butt down and twists them around to the right. A full-got world famous Diamond 9. Enid from the left, Hannah from the right for the 5-4.
reconnaissance platform indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Frecce Tricolori Royal Airport Future Display. My name is Simon Several, and I'm the Future Display Manager to speak with us now, flying into water from the centre at nearly 200 miles an hour. Flight attendant, what do you? As for the officers, it's in the height for first reverse to plan ahead. Flight attendant, what do you? Boarding the Ireland, South Wales. Started flying for the Royal Airport in 1989. After completing your presentation, you'll go for the global enter. Slow. Roll. During that slow roll, we lay in the
69 rolling ready for the one-off first simulator of 2025. This is Chainsaw.
Do this little flight. Here he is inverted, slipping around the circle and then rolling up. So of course while you're inverted, you're suffering negative G, standing upside down, with the blood rushing to your head, really uncomfortable. Putting up there, and he's pulling 5 to 6 feet to get efforts going into that steep climb, and you've got to imagine your body is weighing 4 or 5 times its current weight as you stand there. Do that for 10 minutes, it is absolutely explosive.
Air Service Wildcat helicopters. Please welcome, the roll name is Wildcat. Putting up hard now, they're split to a 360 degree wing over left and right, immediately followed by a full 360 degree turn. Now demonstrating the aircraft's power and agility, they're going to climb to 500 feet before conducting a nose over to a rapid descent. Pilots and observers are sending off to the front on board while they reach frigates and destroyers around the world. Hence, managing to inspire this glorious fighting capability. Red one, easeable, brings them around to right, as I said, stop, go, rolling. In a formation known as Big Battle. It's the same formation that we fly over national events, including flying over the King's Flypast over London. You now see red 6 and 7 collapse consistent behind the red one, as well as red 8 and 9 moving inwards to form our world famous Diamond 9. Leading the team in his second year as Red One is the team leader, squad leader John Bond, known as Bondy. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified ground shooter on the Tucano, and the Tucano display pilot in 2012. The smoke comes on in the Diamond 9 for the Red Arrows. On the right hand side of Red One is the Red 2. Roll around the rest of the formation. But watch for the colour change as Red One brings them down the line. 4 as he rolls around the smoke of Enid. That is just behind red 1 is red 5, Flight Lieutenant Dustin Wales, known as Dustin. Dustin's on his second year in the team. Red 6, 8, 2,
You're fine. You're fine.
Takes away the prize here today. Then you see on the show now who's going to be the next one. But a simple easy game into the last one. Simple easy game into the last one. Now going to be the next one. Any prize they find you. Then you see on the show what's going down now. Who's going to be the next one for the now. And you get the
the fine display this wonderful airborne show.
With latest display, you're going to be able to see the Typhoon immense before. Obvious sound for the positioning now for one more high-speed flypast. The way to leave an airshow is coming up.
December 1939, nearly 1,100 of them. String bag, swordfish, trailing behind. In the colours of number 302, close wanted service and died in 1986. Then it's our very welcome guests from the Czech Republic, the Hurricane 1, P5351 of the Detective Museum Frecce. Frecce Flying Museum, based at Frecce in the Czech Republic. An aircraft that served as number 73 Squadron, part of the RAF Advanced Air Strike Team in France, and participated in the closing days of the Battle of France, with several operations launching from different sites in France. The F18 made advanced air team.
Curtains for the three junkers. I was right, and they were all shot down in quick time, with no pickings for us. I must confess I was very disappointed, for I had never fired at a Hun in my life and was longing to have a crack at them. So we swung round again and started to climb up to 18,000 feet over Southampton to rejoin our squadron. I was still on the aeroplane.
And here it is, the Douglas A26C Invader. Advisors flying with South Vietnamese pilots. Squadron, which is still part of today's Belgian Air Force, was founded on the 12th of November 1941, followed shortly after by 349 Squadron, and they laid the foundation for the later Belgian Air Force as it was developed in the aftermath of World War II. 45, 752 Belgians served as aircrew in the RAF, of whom more than 620 flew combat sorties and 207 were killed in action. And if you added the Belgian ground crew, who also served, the number who were part of the RAF at wartime rises to some 1,900. All Belgian pilots were awarded the distinguished. First off, we have the North American P51 Mustang, a moonbeam that flies from Airbourne experiences at Biggin Hill. The Cavalier F51 Mustang series named Big Rebel from Hill Demo and Taylor in Norway. Then we have the Commonwealth CAA Mustang Mark 21 named Jersey Shirt from Ultimate Wildcat Flight, Fighter Aviation Engineering, 865L. And while the latter two get together, in front of us is the beam that climbs. P51s, all of them were named Jersey Jerk in honour of his home state. Low-level sorties, they could seek out enemy troop concentrations, they could spot for field artillery, they could provide close air support, and they... Institut Géographique National for use on survey and mapping flights until the early 1970s, and it was in 1975 that it came to Britain. Years ago. Much has been said about how the RAF was slow to see the entry into service of new monoplane fighters to replace its biplanes. And the P40 had many other qualities that helped guarantee its in comes the Sabre. Reaching 570 miles an hour. But when the communist side in the Korean War started operations with the swept-wing Mikoyan MiG-15, that changed. The detachment was sent to Korea by the 4th Fighter Wing in 1950. Single engine jet. And while unlike the Meteor, the Vampire never saw any wartime service, come peacetime, this aeroplane had a very important part to play in a number of games. If you look behind, we welcome the Avro Lancaster 1 of the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight.
Cold War by their prowess and by their devotion. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
The last chance to see Squadron Leader Nathan Scheuer from number 29 Squadron in the Eurofighter Typhoon FER4.
You can see there's actually only 8 aircraft today. Unfortunately, we had one of the aircraft have a technical malfunction, but we can still put on a fantastic display. The colourful big picture. All the Harry pilots, all the Typhoon pilots, all the qualified pilots on the Hawk Mark 2. And on my plan today, after an hour from 2025,